Alrighty, this video is specifically for Holly and Sarah. This first problem is for Holly, and this is from WebAssign, let's see, 10.2, part 1, problem number 13. So let's take a look at it. It says, for each equation, write an equivalent quadratic equation that will be easier to solve. Do not solve the equation. Okay, so part A, we've got 36x squared plus 24x minus 12 equals 0. All right, so looking at it, we're supposed to fill in the coefficient of x squared and then the coefficient of x. So if the key to this is, if you look at the very end, it says minus 1. So we have to make that 12 into a 1. How can we do that? We could divide each one of those terms by 12. So let's do that. I'm going to go back here to the whiteboard screen, and we're going to divide each term by 12, which is going to give us 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. So then, going back to the WebAssign screen, we're going to have 3x squared plus 2x minus 1 equals 0. All right, let's take a look at part B. Here we have 1/9 m squared minus 1/8 m minus 1/9 equals 0. All right, now somehow I need to get that last number, the minus 1/9, to be an 8. So let's go back to the whiteboard screen again. First of all, I'm going to clear the fractions. To do that, I need the least common denominator of all the denominators, the 8 and the 9, and that's going to be 72. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 72. 72 times 1/9 m squared, the 72 and the 9 would reduce down to 8m squared. 72 times minus 1/8 m is going to be minus, the 72 divided by 8 would be 9m. And then the 72 times minus 1/9 is going to be minus 8 again, equals 0. All right, now going back to the WebAssign screen. So I had 8m squared minus 9m minus 8, so it's going to be 8m squared minus 9m minus 8. And there you have it. If you have any further questions, email me and I'll get back to you. Now I'm going to go on to the other students' questions, and give me a minute here to do that. Let's see here. So see here, almost there. 10.1, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so let's take a look at WebAssign again. This is section 10.1, number 7, number 8, and number 9. So number 7, it says, let G of A equal the quantity 3a minus 5 squared. For what value of a is G of A equal to 27? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the 27 and put it in the place of G of A. So our equation is going to be 27 equals parentheses 3a minus 5 squared, quantity squared. Okay, so let's go back and look at the whiteboard screen for that. It doesn't really matter, but I like to have the perfect square on the left, so I'm just going to turn things around and write it like this. Okay, so I have a perfect square containing a variable equal to a constant. So it's good to go. I'm going to take the square root of both sides of the equation. Again, I'm going to have plus or minus. That's going to give me 3a minus 5 equals plus or minus the square root of 27. I can simplify the square root of 27. That's the square root of 9 times 3, which is 3 square roots of 3. So now I've got 3a minus 5 equals plus or minus 3 square roots of 3. Okay, so now I need to go on and isolate a. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides, which is going to give me 3a equals 5 plus or minus 3 square roots of 3. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So I'm going to have a equals 5 plus or minus 3 square roots of 3 all over 3. And WebAssign asks you to write them separately. So a is going to be equal to 5 plus 3 square roots of 3 over 3, comma, 5 minus 3 square roots of 3 over 3. So there's the answers to problem number 7. And again, we'll take a look there at WebAssign. There's the 2 answers in WebAssign. Next, let's take a look at problem number 8. Okay, let's see here. Problem number 8. To solve the equation, we have the quantity 3x minus 4 squared equals 64. So going back to the white screen, it's already set up. Perfect square containing a variable equals a constant. I'm going to take the square root of both sides, which will give me that. On the left, I get 3x minus 4. On the right, I get plus or minus 8, because the square root of 64 is 8. Then I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I'm going to get 3x equals 4 plus or minus 8. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 3. So x equals 4 plus or minus 8 over 3. So x equals 4 plus 8 over 3, which is 12 over 3 or 4. X equals 4 minus 8 over 3, which is negative 4/3. So x equals 4 and negative 4/3. All right, so again, we'll go back and look at WebAssign, and here you can see the 2 answers, negative 4/3 and 4. Finally, number 9, solve the equation, and we have the quantity 8x plus 7 squared equals 28. And we're going to take the square root of both sides of that. So back to the whiteboard. It's already set up. The perfect square with a variable in it equals 28. So we'll take the square root of the left side equals plus or minus the square root of the right side. So I get 8x plus 7 equals plus or minus. But the square root of 28 is the square root of 4 times 7. The square root of 4 is 2, so 2 square roots of 7. So I get 8x plus 7 equals plus or minus 2 square roots of 7. Next, I'm going to subtract 7 from both sides. So 8x equals negative 7 plus or minus 2 square roots of 7. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 8. So x equals negative 7 plus or minus 2 square roots of 7 all over 8. And so writing them separately, you'd have x equals negative 7 plus 2 square roots of 7 over 8, comma, negative 7 minus 2 square roots of 7 over 8. So hopefully that's helpful. Anyway, there you have it. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording. And